Welcome to a primetime edition of the Panthers.com video mailbag presented by CEENTA. Staff writer Max Henson here under the lights of Bank of America Stadium as we get ready to see the Steelers and Panthers square off under the lights at Heinz Field. First question this week, not to be cliche, but is the 2015 Magic back? It's funny, every time this Panthers team has some success, we always seem to compare it to that 2015 and the magic we saw during that season. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but it just seems to be always one we fall into. But look, I can't deny it. One thing you mentioned in this question later on was Samuel's end around and the double reverse being so similar to what we saw from Ted Ginn that NFC Championship game, and even Greg Olson's one-handed touchdown we saw against Tampa Bay being a lot like what we saw from him against Seattle in the divisional game. And when you see those things, sure, it does make you think about that 2015 season and those playoff moments, but more so what makes me think about that magical season is just the vibe around this team right now and the fun they're having. And when this team and this quarterback in particular are having this kind of fun and are playing with this kind of energy, they get on a roll and they are very, very difficult to stop, and that's what we're seeing right now. So much confidence, so much positive energy coming from this group, and I think that, more than anything, is what makes this feel like 2015 again. Next question, should we put Dante Jackson on Antonio Brown? Well, that would be a very, very tall task for a rookie corner, but I kind of see it. I think this Panthers defense wants to have Dante out there against the speedy, quick off the line wide receivers. And yes, Antonio Brown is one of the very best in the NFL. And typically you would have James Bradberry match up against whoever that #1 wide receiver is. We've seen that for weeks now, whether it be Julio or Beckham or Green. But this week, I think we're going to see Dante get his shot against somebody like Antonio Brown. And I'm not saying it's going to be exclusively. I'm not saying you're not going to see James Bradberry on him at some times and that you're not going to see double coverage on Antonio Brown. But I think the matchup works a little bit better with Bradberry on a bigger body of Juju Smith-Schuster and a guy like Dante who's got that speed and quickness to match up with the speed and quickness that we know Antonio Brown can provide. It's obviously going to be a very, very tough matchup, but it's going to be interesting to see how the rookie holds up. He's been playing great football lately. And our next question, do you think playing for Tepper could provide an extra intangible or motivational spark to help the team beat Pittsburgh? You know, I don't know about that. I don't think those type of things really have any sort of influence over the outcome once you get into the game, but certainly this is something that's been on the players' minds. Heck, David Tepper even talked to a few of them the other day just about his Pittsburgh roots and how this game is going to be certainly a little extra special for him. So it's something that's been talked about, but once those players take the field on Thursday night, I don't think it'll have that much of an impact on, like I said, the outcome. I will tell you one thing, if the Panthers do win, I am going to be very interested to see David Tepper's reaction in that post-game locker room. And our last question, what's up with F.A. Obata? Has he fallen out of favor? Now, I don't think F.A.'s fallen out of favor. He had 12 snaps against Tampa Bay, and I think that's right around the number you're going to see from him. Look, he had that incredible debut against Cincinnati where he had that sack, the interception, and I think maybe some people's expectations got a little out of whack. This is still a young player who's still learning the game, to be quite honest, and he's going to continue to have to be molded and learn some of these pass rush techniques to more effectively affect the passer week in and week out. So keep that in mind. He's still learning, still growing, and he's going to have that small number of snaps to work with throughout the rest of the season.